All right, what's up, guys? My name is Devon, aka Deezus. I host a podcast called Deezus Take the Real, and I've noticed a trend here in the group. There's, a lot of posts that we see come up very often, and one of them is recording Skype and Google Hangout interviews for your podcast. And it's a tough. It really sucks. It's super complicated. You can Google all the tutorial videos you want, but you're left very confused because it's a little overly complicated. Because I remember struggling with this myself, trying to figure out how to do it myself, and I saw a bunch of different ways, a bunch of different tutorials, and then I came across something pretty simple. Because I had to come up with pretty much my own way of doing it because my mixer wasn't allowing for mix minus. So this tutorial will be how to record a Skype or Google Hangout interview for your podcast. But here's the thing, though. I'm not super tech savvy. I hope this will just help a few people. If this even helps a few people, that would be great. But I'm not super tech savvy, so I'm pretty much just giving you the breakdown of my setup on how I do it. So really, this only benefits you if you have a similar mixer and if you have a digital recorder, because I record all my podcasts on a digital recorder every single episode, just because I'm very cautious and I don't want to, lose out on anything. So this will only help you if you are recording with a mixer and with a digital recorder. But hopefully this helps out a few different people because it's fairly simple. Like I said, I'm not a tech wizard at all. And sorry if this is poor quality. I don't do tutorial videos often or anything. But here we go. I'll just go ahead and show you my setup. The things you'll need is, obviously a microphone, a mixer, a digital recorder, and a laptop. Webcam, that's up to you because, it's a podcast. It doesn't really matter. But so I'm going to just go ahead and show you my setup and I'll walk you through it. Okay, so this is my digital recorder. I have the Tascam 22 WRL or something like that. I don't know. But so I have a digital recorder here. I got my laptop that I'm obviously doing the video off of. I got my microphones, and then I have my mixer. And then as far as wires go, you will need a couple different ones. You'll need pretty much a few different output cables that will be going into your recorder and going into the laptop. So pretty much here, let me come around to this side. Like I said, again, guys, I'm very sorry. I don't do tutorial videos, so hopefully this is decent enough to follow. So right here, this is where my mic is going in. And I will show you an alternate way at the end of this video as well, just in case you have a USB mic and not an XLR mic, because we can also make this work as well. But I'll just show you how I do it with my XLR mic. So I have it hooked up right here. You only need at least 2 channels for this to work. If you are a single host and you only have one microphone, this can still work. So you have your microphone hooked in right here. Pretty much the general thing is you want everything going into your mixer, so that way when it goes back out, the person that you're Skyping with can hear the sounds that you hear in case you are playing sound clips or something like that. They will be able to hear those things, the same things you're hearing, but it will not, you don't have to do the mix minus though with this setup to minus out the sounds that they're hearing. There's not going to be any overlapping or anything like that. I've done this a few times already. So you got your microphone in right here. So over here on the first output right now, this is it's one of these jacks, but it will also work if you have a mixer that has these kind of jacks. So it doesn't really matter. You just have to have the right wires that match up with the proper plugins. Sorry guys, on my camera work. Like I said, I don't do these tutorial videos. So I have the Mackie Mix 12 with effects mixer. It is fairly new. It's a pretty decent mixer, but like I said, it did not have certain knobs that I needed for mix minus. So that's why I had to come up with this alternate version. So you have your mic in on your output over here. This is the input I have my laptop hooked into it whenever I'm recording my podcast, so that way I can play my theme music in over it and whatnot. So that's hooked into here, and that's gonna still be hooked up into my laptop right here. It's gonna be hooked up into the regular headphone jack. This is the regular headphone jack. You will also need a sound card. I'll explain this here in a sec, depending on what laptop you use. But so you have line 5 and 6 right here. Uh, in the mixer is going into my laptop in the headphone jack. So that's the first thing you'll need. And then, okay, so on my mixer right here, like I said, I always record into a digital recorder. That is just the way I always record. And so every mixer has a main out port. This is on every single mixer. It definitely has it. And nothing different either. The main out is all the sounds that are going into my mixer. So that is my microphone, that is the Skype call, that is the music. And that's why line 5 and 6 is hooked up into the laptop, into the headphone port, because it's also going to feed the sounds from your Skype call, from your caller, into the mixer. So that right there, and they're not going to get any overlap either, because you're the only one recording this, because you are using a digital recorder. If you are recording with software on your laptop, that's the reason that they will hear their own voice, and they'll kind of hear this overlap effect. So like I said, this only works, to my knowledge, if you have a digital recorder. So the main out is still going into my digital recorder. This is nothing different than any other time that I record. So I have my main out going into the mixer because, like I said, this is everything coming from the mixer going into my digital recorder. So you will have, no matter what happens during recording, say that your Skype call cuts out, you just keep on recording, and you can always edit that out and have the person call back. And, your recording is still going, whether or not the Skype call is still going on. So if you have dropped calls, this is another issue that having a digital recorder will kind of avoid. So you have your main out going into your digital recorder, and then you have your headphones coming out of your digital recorder as well. So that way you are hearing all the sounds that are going into the digital recorder, your music, your Skype call, your microphone, you hear everything. So you keep the headphones plugged in. However, with the digital recorder, the only way you're going to hear the sound is either while you're recording or during pre-recording when you're doing your levels. Because if you're going to plug it in and you're going to freak out for a sec because you're not going to hear any sound, just go into pre-record mode or into straight recording, and then you will be able to hear the audio fine. Okay, and then now the problem is you can hear everything from the Skype call, but the problem is they cannot hear you. So you have to loop the sound back. So going back to the mixer right here, this is where you have another output of some sort. On my mixer, it says tape out. Some other mixers might say auxiliary out, AUX out. You just need some sort of out. It would also work on my mixer with the effect send, depending on what cord I use, but I use the auxiliary ones with the red and white RCAs because I just think the sound quality is better that way. But I could do it also through this way as well. I have like I said, once I really figured out the ins and outs of my mixer, I was able to figure out this configuration. So I have another one of these cords right here, and it has a headphone jack coming from this. So I have the effects out, because the reason you need this is because this is how they are going to hear the sounds coming from you, as well as your microphone. Because if you are recording with an external microphone, which you usually are, that's how they're able to hear you. So this tape out goes into my sound card over here. So these sound cards are because Macs don't have a microphone input and a headphone output. They just have the headphone output, and it doesn't work both ways. So I had to buy this sound card adapter. It has a microphone in and a headphone out port on the sound card. So that way I can have the headphone jack plugged in from my mixer, and then I also have the microphone going into my laptop, and that's how I use my microphone during the Skype call, because you have the tape out right here, is taking the microphone and feeding the sound into your laptop, into your Skype call. So that's how you're able to record your Skype call. So pretty much for the recording to work, like I said, you have microphone sound going into the mixer. You have your laptop sound going into the mixer to record everything. Going out of the mixer, you have your main out going into your digital recorder to record all the sound. And then you have this tape out going back into your laptop, acting as your microphone. So that is basically how it would work, how you're able to record a Skype call. Everybody can hear everything. Everybody can hear the music that's playing, and everything will be recorded. Invest in a digital recorder, guys. These things are a lifesaver because the batteries are better. You don't have to worry about if your laptop crashes during an interview. And I bought this digital recorder for, I think, $100. It runs on AA batteries, gives you about 9 hours of recording, comes with a sound, a micro SD card with it. So I would highly recommend invest in a digital recorder, guys. But that'll go ahead and do it. Oh, I did say there's an alternate route if you are using a USB mic. So if you're using a USB mic, you usually have a phantom power converter, because most condenser microphones, USB ones, don't power themselves. So you have your phantom. So I do have a USB microphone as well, that I use for videos, but not while I'm podcasting. So if you're using a USB microphone and you still want to do this, it's the same thing. All you have to do is you have the converter going in and out of the phantom power, and then you will take the output one and you just plug it right back into one of the microphone mixing on your mixer. So it still works the same way whether you're using a USB or an XLR microphone. So hopefully I did a decent job of explaining my setup. If you have any questions, just ask in the comments. Like I said, sorry, I'm not very good at these tutorial videos. I don't do them very often, but I just kind of want to try and help the good people out of this podcast group. So if you have any questions, just let me know. But hopefully this answers a few questions for certain people and helps you out. So happy podcasting and enjoy. Have a good rest of your night, guys.